Today we can discuss one lesson from geography. That is third lesson, drainage. It fully discusses the most important details about rivers and its role and the different type of rivers and the area where they are located and the major important rivers flowing in India. So we can go through that important points one by one. The word drainage stands for the river system of an area. That means the river, that means from the origin and the tributaries or distributaries etc. That is the whole river system including tributaries and distributaries together known as drainage. And we know the whole area drained by a river and its tributaries or distributaries known as drainage basin. It may vary from one river to another. Largest rivers may be having lot of tributaries and distributaries. So the whole area related to one river and its different tributaries or distributaries known as river basin. In India, the largest river basin belongs to river Ganga because river Ganga is the longest river in India which flows through many of the important states and has contributed water from different areas. That means from both the sides of this river. So, largest drainage basin of India belongs to river Ganga. And we need to study one more important such term that sometimes we may see that many of the rivers are flowing or origin from the uplifted areas or from the elevated areas, just like a mountain or a hill etc. And most of the rivers are flowing to both sides of that mountain also. That means left of the mountain or right of the mountain also may be having number of rivers. So one river flows to west side and also has its own tributaries. Another river also flows to east and also has its own different tributaries. So we can study one term that an elevated or an uplifted area which separate two important river basins is called water divide. Means dividing two water bodies, that is one river into another side and another into another next side. So two water bodies or two drainages will be separated by an elevated area in between. That elevated area separating two water or river system is called water divide. Drainage system of India can be divided into two important physiographic localities, mainly based on the origin from where they are starting. One of that section is called Himalayan rivers. Another one is Peninsular rivers. From these two words itself, we can identify mainly the origin of the rivers are either from Himalayan locality or from peninsular rivers or from peninsular plateau. So, two types of such rivers are there. And other than the origin, many other different type of differences are there in between peninsular or Himalayan rivers. One of the important difference between Himalayan or peninsular river is that Himalayan rivers are perennial. Peninsular rivers are seasonal. The two words are special. Perennial stands for having water throughout an year. Because Himalayan rivers are getting water either from rain or from melting snow. With many of these reasons, Himalayan rivers are always having water throughout an year. So they are perennial. And peninsular rivers are, majority of the peninsular rivers are seasonal because many of them are getting water only during the time of rainy season. As there is no any snow localities in this southern side or in the central side of India, peninsular rivers are seasonal. That means getting water or having water or carrying water throughout the rainy season alone. So, perennial or seasonal. And length, according to the length of these rivers also, we can say that Himalayan rivers are a little bit longer than peninsular rivers. Because every type of river bodies or rivers will be having a course of lengthiest course of journey to reach in any other main water body, either in the form of a river, a sea or an ocean. So, Himalayan rivers, as they are starting from the northern corners of that Himalaya, need to pass a long way to reach in Bay of Bengal or in the Arabian Sea. So, Himalayan rivers are longer than peninsular rivers. And peninsular rivers, majority of that peninsular rivers are originating from the Western Ghat or from the central India in the Vindhya or Satpura mountain ranges. So, peninsular rivers have a short journey to reach in the nearby water bodies, but Himalayan rivers need to have a long course of journey to reach in any of that major rivers. Another important difference between these Himalayan or peninsular rivers are there. Peninsular rivers have a lot of a short volume of water. It carries less amount of water. But Himalayan rivers are, as it is originating from Himalaya where snow caps are there to melt out always, it has a huge volume of water. And the largest amount of water is carrying by river Brahmaputra. So, three important Himalayan rivers are river Indus, river Ganga and river Brahmaputra. All these three has to pass long kilometers of length to reach in the nearby long water bodies or large water bodies, and also carries huge amount of water. One more important difference between these two, that is Himalayan or peninsular rivers are there. As Himalayan rivers need, as we told that Himalayan rivers need to have a long journey to reach in the nearby water body. On the long course of its way, different types of landforms will be created, especially on the base of the running water. That means it carries huge amount of deposits from the beginning. As they are starting from the top of mountain ranges, steep flow make the carrying or help them to carry lot of different type of sediments. And while it is in the middle course, where from that extreme steep to a middle course, its speed will be a little bit reduced, and many of the different type of forms, just like oxbow lakes or meanders etc. will be formed on the area. And while it comes into the lower course, where the speed also is very slow, as it is passing through almost plain area, its speed will be very low. So different type of depositional works will be happen or done by these rivers, and flood plain areas will be created by the Himalayan rivers. And in case of peninsular rivers, we can say that as there is no any much huge height for almost all these Western Ghat or Vindhya Satpura mountain ranges compared to Himalayan rivers, less depositional works will be done by them. But one important feature of our peninsular rivers mainly that they are the major reason for the formation of highly fertile deltas near to the opening of the nearby huge water body. So deltas are creating mainly by peninsular rivers. Oxbow lake or meanders etc. will be created by peninsular rivers. So many different, Himalayan rivers. Many differences are there between Himalayan or peninsular rivers. When we are talking about drainage system, it is not about the rivers alone. It is a part of lake. Lake also has its own role as a drainage. So here we are going to talk about the different lakes and the area where they are located, and the role that they also are playing in case of a nation's development. We know that lakes are entirely different from rivers, because rivers has a long course of journey to reach somewhere else in another water body. But lakes are a closed area where its boundaries will be covered with land. So a huge water body covered with land is called a lake. And large such lakes may be turned into seas, just like Caspian Sea or Dead Sea or Aral Sea etc. So large version of lakes are turned into seas. That means a land boundary will be there for majority of the such water bodies, especially lakes. And here we can say that lakes are really an attractive spot of tourism, mainly because of the entertainment areas or the opportunities near to or inside the lake itself. And we also are selecting such places mainly whenever we are thinking about a journey outside. So lakes are really considering as a matter of entertainment, and also is a part of supporting water. So here we can say that mainly two types of lake also are there, just like in case of rivers. Some of the lakes are mainly formed due to the glaciers, that means in the top of Himalayan or any other areas, and some others are forming inside the or in the dry or in semi-arid regions. So lakes formed due to glaciers or ice sheet etc. will be permanent. Water will be there throughout the year. There will be no matter whether it's rainy season or dry season etc. Water will be there, either rainwater or melted ice will be there as water in the lakes which formed on the glaciers or on the snow cave. But here in case of inland or in semi-arid areas, that lakes are having a tendency to lose its water content during summer season and may be turned into almost reduced or low water level will be there. So anyhow, whether it is perennial or it is seasonal doesn't matter. Most of the lakes in this world, especially in India, especially at Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh etc., are very important tourist locations, not for Indians but for the world itself, because of the most beautiful sceneries nearby. So is it perennial or seasonal doesn't matter. They are a matter of important tourist attraction. And some lakes are freshwater lakes and some others are saltwater lakes. Freshwater lakes are mainly found in the Himalayan regions, just like our Ular or Kolleru. Ular in Kashmir, Kolleru, Chilka and Pulikat are in the Odisha and Andhra Pradesh areas respectively. So, Ular Lake or Chilka Lake etc. are examples for freshwater lakes, and Sambar Lake in Rajasthan is an example for salt water. And these saltwater lakes are mainly used to make salt out of the water after boiling it properly. So lakes are also has its own value in case of a nation's development, mainly in the form of tourist spots, or also helps in case of inland navigation also is possible by the lakes. That inland navigation means navigation through water within a country, not through oceans or seas, but within water body, either through rivers or through lake. If it's possible to transport or to travel from one place to another, that is called inland. That means within the nation. So lakes also are an important factor or an important aspect which help for inland navigation. Inland navigation means navigation through water within a country, not through oceans or seas, but within water body, either through rivers or through lake. If it's possible to transport or to travel from one place to another, that is called inland. That means within the nation. So lakes also are an important factor or an important aspect which help for inland navigation. So lakes are very much useful for human, especially to transport from one place to another within the country. And we know that lakes also are of two types on the basis of its formation. Sometimes it is naturally formed, just like in case of a Volar or any other glacial or Chilka etc. may be formed naturally. But some other lakes may be there with artificial or human-made lake also will be. Human-made lakes are mainly constructing at the time when a dam is going to construct, in order to consider as a reservoir for supporting or for supplementing water to dams nearby itself. A huge lake sometimes may be created artificially. Anyhow, is it natural or artificial, it doesn't matter. Lakes are very much useful for human life. Especially, it helps to irrigate our agricultural area if it is a place where there is low water bodies or low availability of water. And also regulates the flow of water during, especially in the rivers, during the time of rainy season. Overflow of water can be managed by the lakes, and lakes also are supportive matter for making hydroelectric project. Lots of dams help supported by these lakes are a place where hydroelectricity is producing in large or generating in large scale, and it is a place where extraordinary tourist locations will be spotted there, and also is a place for recreations and entertainment, and aquatic life also can be developed for the daily life purpose of people, and Transportation from one place to another with cheap cost also is possible through lake. So lakes are also very much useful for human life. We can discuss one more important topic in the form of river pollution. Every kind of drainage systems are polluting by different type of situations or factors in our surroundings nowadays. Every kind of dumping of waste materials from hospitals or from hotels or from industrial or from any other locality or from our habitation etc. also resulting in the lower quality of water. And while a huge amount of water is using for industrial or for factory purpose also, the continuous flow of water, especially the volume of water from rivers also are reducing day by day. When the volume of water is reducing, quality of the water also will be reducing. Not only volume or the quality, when different type of waste materials are loading into the rivers or the lakes directly or indirectly, it reduces the quality of water, especially that we are consuming for our daily life. That's why as pollutions are continuously going on, it reduces the self-cleaning capacity of rivers also. That's why presently our government of India or the other governments of the world also trying to introduce different schemes or plans to support or to help or to reduce the river pollutions of any kind. So some of the rivers are facing one major problem of losing its own cleaning capacity. That means many of the rivers have its own capacity to dilute all the different type of waste materials in a short period of time. But due to huge load of these type of untreated sewages from industrial or urbanized locality, the capacity of the water to clean itself is losing nowadays. That's why different governments of the world, including our own country also, introducing different plans to support and also to reduce these type of water pollution, and also programs are already introduced in the life, just like in the case of Ganga Action Plan, that is a cleaning project of river Ganga. So different projects are there, different steps also are taken by the government, but we need to think one thing, that other than steps taken by government or any other organization, we human being need to make sure about that our life on this earth will be impossible without fresh water. So we do not want to make sure about the government or any other agencies are making their own part. We ourselves, each and every individual, need to make sure about our own responsibility to make sure about the health of these freshwater bodies nearby. Because if we need to exist here, fresh water must be available. So, is it rivers or lakes or any other type of drainage system, need to protect well, because they are the life supporting agent into human or any other type of living being mainly. So, we discussed only about the river systems or drainage systems and lakes. We have to discuss some more important points, just like the different Himalayan rivers or different peninsular rivers, that we can discuss in the next class. So let us wind up now. Thank you. Have a nice day.